We're going to call the December 7th Park Board meeting to order at 5:32 p.m. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Sharon, can we get a roll call, please?
Mr. Markwart?
Present.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Present.
Mrs. Miller?
Present.
Mr. Holstein?
Present.
Mrs. Sheehan is absent. Mr. Salata is absent. Jennifer Sandberg. Mr. Austin?
Present.
Ms. Buckler?
Present.
Okay.
Okay. We have no presentations. We'll start with the consent agenda, including the meeting minutes from the November 2nd, 2023 meeting. Under claims, we have out of the Parks and Recreation General Fund, $17,291.67. Park Impact Fee Fund, $3,008.64. Parks and Rec Non-Reverting Fund, $1,371.67. Clubhouse Non-Reverting Fund, $6,855.49. Total expenditures, $28,527.47. Item number 3 in the consent agenda is donations from James Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cedar Lake for a $300 donation. In-kind donations from Leo's for the 15-foot Christmas tree, Twisted Sugar for 8 dozen sugar cookies, Cedar Lake Strachan Van Til frosting and sprinkles, and Mork's Chocolate for s'mores chocolate. What's the board's pleasure?
I'll motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, can we get a roll call, please?
Mr. Markwart?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
And Mr. Holstein?
Yes. Okay. Under old business, we have none. Under new business, I need a motion to add an item under new business to make an amendment to the salary ordinances regarding staff bonuses. Can I get a motion to add that to new business?
I'll motion to amend the agenda.
Okay, I have a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a second. Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Markwart?
No.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
And Mr. Holstein?
Yes.
This is just to amend the agenda.
To add it to new business.
Yeah,
We're not doing
approving anything.
Yep.
No, but you're adding new business that I think could possibly wait and be put on the agenda for the next meeting. That's my thoughts.
So, I guess I'll address it, because I had expressed that concern, and unfortunately, because it's coming out of 2023 funds, it has to be done in this meeting. It can't be done in the 2024 meeting.
Okay.
Because it's coming out of 2023 line items for 2023 work. So, how about this, Greg? We've added it to the agenda. We can review the salary ordinance that we're gonna make recommendation to the town council for, and then the discussion, we can discuss it.
Yes.
So, item number 1 in new business, we have a salary ordinance amendment, which would result in us making a favorable or not favorable recommendation to the town council. Ms. Miller, can you please read the ordinance by title, please?
This one right here. Right?
That one right there.
An ordinance amending town salary ordinance number 1436, establishing jobs and salaries to be paid certain offices, positions, and jobs within the town of Cedar Lake for calendar year 2023, and repealing all ordinances or parts thereof in conflict therewith.
So, in short, this ordinance was created, or the amendment to the ordinance was created to provide some compensation to the operations director and the public works superintendent for their work in the beginning of the year while we did not have a superintendent managing our crew. managing park operations, and I mean, truth be told, even prior to the inception of the Parks Department, they were probably doing those tasks anyways as an extra add-on. So there had been discussion earlier in the year in a meeting with the town manager to perhaps give consideration to some extra compensation for their help in their extra job duties. So essentially, we need to cite an amount and make a motion and so on to move this forward or not. So what is the board's pleasure?
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Who prepared that ordinance?
The clerk treasurer's office.
Okay. The record should be really clear. I did not prepare it. I was not consulted about it. Not that I need to be, but I wasn't. And want to make clear that record.
Absolutely.
Now, do we have to specify the amount, or do we have to recommend this to town council and they can have ultimate say?
The clerk treasurer's recommendation was that we set an amount, and then it would be in that recommendation to the council, and then ultimately be up to the council to approve or not approve this.
You do not adopt ordinances. It's the town council
Right.
function.
Right. So essentially, we're coming up with the groundwork, we're giving it to council to make the essential decision, or essentially the decision, what they would like to do. So, if there's no motion to be made, then that's where it sits. If there is a motion, we need to take action on it. I'm totally okay with the discussion end of it, but discussion comes after a first and a second, so if we have a motion and a second, we can discuss it further from there.
So the motion would be for the specific dollar amount we're thinking of awarding the two.
Should we decide that before the motion?
I think that should be included in the motion.
Okay.
You know, this wouldn't be money that we didn't have, this is out of the, Parks and Recreation budget within the general fund.
Okay. I'd make a motion to defer this until the January meeting. If it's the 2023 budget, then it's a bonus. Nobody's losing any money. You know, they just wouldn't get it, period. I didn't know that we were in the business of giving bonuses.
Okay, so I have a motion to defer. Again, for the record, when I did inquire about this, if it doesn't get taken action on in this calendar year, then it's just dead. So, 'cause I did specifically ask that question, and that was the answer I was provided. So again, I have a motion on the floor for deferring this to the January meeting.
I wish we had some direction from the town manager at this meeting.
Well, he's the one that, you know, brought this up originally.
Mhm.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, if, you know, another board member is not comfortable with proceeding with this, then that's where it sits. You know, we have a motion, I need a second. And then, I don't know that we've encountered this this before, so I'm probably gonna be looking at legal for, does this ordinance, or does this recommendation just die at this point?
It would.
Okay. Okay. Okay,
I'm gonna motion to defer also, just because I'm not comfortable
sure.
with, I can't say what's a good number and what's not a good number at this point, and I don't think we have enough, you know, information to do it.
Paul, would that be a second to?
That'll be a second to correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we have a motion and a second to defer. Any further discussion from any board members?
Well, I would just add, I do think it would be a nice gesture.
Mhm.
They did work very hard, and they helped out a lot, and we didn't have staff at that time. I would be open to further discussion if that's even able to happen, but I agree, we do need a little bit more background guidance.
Well, and again, you know, I would have to say, you know, while some specific questions have been answered, I am totally okay with hesitancy too, and then trying to figure out more information. As far as repercussions for, not repercussions, that's not the right word I'm looking for. As far as how it's done in the 2024 calendar year, I'm assuming it wouldn't be done out of the 2023 funds. I'm not 100% certain how that works. Again, that's another math numbers question that I'm not going to get an answer for tonight. So, you know, to piggyback what Sarah said, you know, Tim King and Tim Kubiak, and Mindy, when did you get hired?
May 1st was my first day.
So from January to May, if I called, they answered, and they made sure work was done on top of their daily duties, and that's why I did think that this was a nice gesture. But if the board is not comfortable with it, we will...
Yeah, I'm okay with it in theory. I'm not comfortable saying a number, because I just don't know what that number should be. So that's where I sit, right? I mean, I'm okay with it,
Mhm.
giving them a bonus. I just don't know what that number is. That's kind of where I'm at.
No,
I'm
and
not comfortable saying a number.
And I respect that, you know, and if anyone's uncomfortable, I mean, that's part of government, is not just pushing something through, it's saying no and figuring out more details. So
Yeah.
I guess what I would say before we take a vote on this is then I would ask each of the board members to reach out to the parties that they feel they're gonna get the answers they need from. And we will defer this and, do this with more answers that people desire. And, again, Paul, I mean, I understand, like, I don't necessarily have a value to put on certain things, and, I mean, bonuses has never been a realm of my job. I work in public service. We don't get Christmas bonuses, you know, like, it's just not a normal thing. We don't get bonuses, period. We get the standard 3% raise, and life goes on, you know. So anyways, like I said, I think this is part of government, and if there's members that aren't comfortable, everyone's made some valid concerns. And so I just, like I said, I would ask that, you know, each board member ask the appropriate party or who they feel is appropriate about getting the answers that they need. So, any further discussion? Okay, so I need a roll call on deferring this to the January meeting.
Mr. Markworth,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
and Mr. Holstein.
Yes, 4-0. Okay, clerk treasurer fund report, board members, did you have a chance to go through and check things out?
Yes.
Okay, everything appeared to be normal in your
I had
perspective?
one question and Mindy answered it.
Okay, okay. I didn't see anything too abnormal. Okay, superintendent report, Mindy.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Mindy.
Hi, everybody. The superintendent was kind of busy with the Taylor Ice Festival happening, but I do have a little highlight reel of things in this, superintendent report. I do want to note that a piece of, agility equipment at the dog park appeared to be defective. It was reported to one of our town council people who reported to us. Upon investigation, although it's not a safety concern or a hazard, It appears that some of the coating on one of the pieces of equipment is chipping away. Since that's new, Mr. Holste have reached out to the manufacturer, and they will be sending us a replacement piece for that at a cost. So that has been addressed, but I would like to urge the public and anybody who works in government here, please do the proper channels. This probably sat for a few weeks, not getting to the right people, and I'd like to encourage that if you do have issues or concerns about the parks, to contact the park office so we can put that into immediate action instead of the Chinese telephone, I guess I would say. And that would be a best practice for us as a department, and I would encourage that moving forward. We are meeting with Emberly Smiles. They presented to us in October on the site of Kiwanis to look at that as a first location for the communication board. So that will be happening in January to get the ball rolling on that project, and the ability to collaborate with them as the board wished. We had an Eagle Scout who was supposed to be presenting. This is why presentation sat on your agenda. A Boy Scout wanting to present his Eagle Scout project reached out to me a few weeks ago, said he just hasn't hit the point where he's feeling comfortable presenting to us yet. So we'll be reaching out when his project is a little more detailed out in presentation form. But I have met with them, and I did let them know that our January meeting date, and hopefully get that ball rolling and our gentleman on to his way for his Eagle Scout project. We're happy to assist with those type of projects as well. I attended the Indiana Parks Conference in Fort Wayne, along with the rec coordinator, Hope Tauber. I want to say that it is always a great conference to attend. I've attended many years. I took the administrative track. Our rec coordinator took the rec track. And I always come back with new ideas, a sense of reborn energy again. And I think it was just the ticket that it took to get us over the threshold with Taylor Ice Festival, as I had the opportunity to consult professionals in that area about some of the stuff that we were doing and accomplishing. I would like to ask that maybe next year the park board considers bringing or allowing the administrative assistant, who is essentially our heartbeat of our office, to attend the conference. A lot of departments had theirs there, and it was beneficial because there was some good coaching courses and such that would be great for that person who is the face of your department and dealing with the customers every day and the patrons. I attended a hostage negotiation course from an FBI agent, and it really was more about dealing with a difficult person and good coping mechanisms to get through it. Hope and I both attended that one because we wanted to see how that worked. And
I could probably benefit from that class.
I think every person in this building could benefit for how to deal with difficult people. It was great. And I said that guy should come back as a keynote speaker at the conference. And then we're in 5-year master planning. I have a site tour set up, tentative dates, because if it snows, it doesn't happen. But I have 2 tentative dates in December set with Context Design. And we have a memo from Context Design just stating that we're going to get through the site tours and then come up with a better time frame of when things are going to be happening with hitting our deadline as we had asked. We were asked to. We'll have this master plan done way before anything needs to happen with it. But I did want to talk about, we need to start figuring out who our stakeholders will be on master planning. And they're going to want to start meeting with our stakeholders. And any recommendations should come to the park board for stakeholder opportunities on the 5-year master planning. And that's really all I have on the, oh, Taylor Ice Fest. Oh my gosh, I have to talk about that. Okay. Taylor Ice Festival, I think, I came on board and I was asked, by administration, could we bring an event of some type of nature reflecting a Chris Kindle type market to the community? I started in May, we started talking about this in June. We reached out to different partners to see if they would be of interest to collaborate with us as a new department, as a new event. We partnered with Lasson's Museum and we partnered with Cedar Lake Farmers Market. And as partners, we met as a committee and started creating Taylor Ice Festival opportunity. Overall, I feel that the event was a sound, good event. I have a exit meeting with the committee members and any of you who are in the room or listening to the meeting. I encourage all feedback to come our way because I don't care if it's good or bad or ugly. I need to know so we can make that adjustments to next year's. It was held as an inaugural event, but we will be continuing moving forward with some tweaks. It was, our first night was a little rainy and we didn't have the kind of turnout that we had hoped for the first day of the event. The second day of the event was beautiful. The shuttles, buses were coming in full for hours and hours and hours. We ran our tails off and every person that I saw at that event was happy they were here. And it was great to offer something of that sort to our community. And, you know, no first event that doesn't have its issues, but nothing catastrophic. I do have, I know there's been concerns about the financial of the Taylor Ice Festival. I do want to assure anybody who has concerns about that, there was an itemized budget prepared and will be ready for final report for the next town council meeting. I just have to meet with the community in an exit meeting to get final details to throw into that report. But anytime that I've been involved in event creation from start to finish, there is an itemized budget of costs associated with it, and I will present that to the council for that information, and it will be emailed over to the board members at the time of finality.
Well, and now we have something to reference, that's part of it. You don't, you know, it's tough to come up with a budget for an event when all those extra, we didn't think of this, or we're gonna need that, or, you know, so, that's good.
Yeah.
I guess I have a couple things to piggyback, so just things you brought up that I'd like to reiterate as well for the YouTube crowd or whatever. The complaint thing, you know, we preach it over and over and over and over and over. You know, if you have a parks issue, between email, the website, Facebook, walking into our office, whatever, the phone, we get things done. So the complaint about the dog park that, you know, was vague to start, and we went out and we immediately checked when the initial complaint of something really wrong at the dog park, and we didn't see anything really wrong. Then it was brought to our attention in photos, and it was very minor, but it needed to be looked at. So Monday we went out and I took a look at it myself and took photos, and within an hour and a half, we had a resolution from the company, and that's how things will get done with the Parks Department if it's something we can fix. If you let us know and let us know through the proper channels, we'll address those concerns. So, as a matter of fact, the same person who complained about that had gotten in touch with me and the Parks Department, and I just happened to talk to him first about the pads, the stone pads or whatever they want.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I told that I was in the middle of my speech with the guy, like, hey man, you can get a hold of us, we're really fast and efficient. And as we were talking, the email was sent saying, hey, stone ordered, Josh is gonna take care of it, the pads are gonna be set so that there's less of a slip hazard. And I told the guy, I go, your problem's addressed. I said, so just call us next time, it'll be done, just stop with the arrows and just come to us, you know, please. So I like that, and that's how I want the department to run. So when people have complaints about the Parks Department, please just contact the Parks Department, and we'll pay attention, we'll listen, and we'll deal with it. So that was item number one. Item number two that I wanted to revisit again is Taylor Ice Fest. 280 attendees on that Friday, which was 200 more people than I thought I saw there. I felt like I just saw the same people over and over and over again, but apparently that's not the case. And I was refreshed to know on Friday or Saturday that the Grinch was counting. I didn't know why the Grinch was sitting up front, but the Grinch was actually counting. So we figure what, 1,300 between the 2 days, ballpark? Is that where we were at for attendees?
Saturday, the last time I checked, and that was closer to 7, was 1,100 people on Saturday. So I don't know the final numbers till we meet in the exit meeting.
That's okay.
For Saturday.
I'm gonna say ballpark 1,300, and for a first-time event with a drizzly cold Friday, that wasn't bad. I would like to, not only thank the parks team that invested the time and energy and the extra time and energy and all the stress and the worry, and some even got themselves sick in the process and had to recover a little extra. But I'd also like to thank, as I did on my social media, but in the meeting on the record, the Public Works Department came strong and worked hard for us. As a matter of fact, it almost seemed like they were having fun at work, which was nice to see. Cedar Lake VIPS and Crown Point EMA helping with the shuttle situation and the lines, the police department, again, Essential, Faith Church, Lemon Lake Park, for giving us a place to put the people. Molly the Trolley, or I don't even think it's officially Molly, but every trolley in Crown Point will be known as Molly the Trolley for me. But City of Crown Point for getting us a trolley, Ileana Christian for the buses, and the ministries for the buses, and I'm sure I'm going to forget something, but everyone who was involved with Taylor Ice Fest, it was really cool to see. I don't know if people will hate me for saying it, but I think that the shuttle way was the way and might be the way that we do that event. Because I think if we did it as the traditional farmer's market, we might as well have just started a mud wrestling tournament for Friday and Saturday and forgot the vendors and the food and everything else. So I think that the shuttle system, we proved it worked. I think it worked well. And we can only get better from there. So bravo to everyone involved with Taylor Ice Fest. That was really cool to see. Kelly from the Farmers Market, that lady can bring a crowd, and I'm looking forward to getting in the discussion of next year early, so maybe we can, not be so rushed and enhance it. So, I think that's all I had for the superintendent report. Did you guys have anything? Okay. Moving on to the rec coordinator report. Did you want to go over that, Mindy, Sharon?
Sure, I can
Okay.
take care of that for you guys. In the recreation report, programming is a little slower this time of year. We are choosing not to run STEM Club for a while. I think we just kind of burnt out the program. We're going to retire, revamp it, bring it back. Kids' art class seemed a little low in November, but that was probably due to a Thanksgiving holiday, according to Hope's report. The family ornament painting turned out really great, and some of those ornaments, so families got to take home an ornament, a couple art ornaments, and they left one behind for the Taylor Ice Fest trees. So if you do get up close and you see some cutesy painted ornaments, that was from our family ornament painting party. 14 families, that's a lot of people who showed up to show their support for not only Taylor Ice Fest, but a community program. Bingo's hot with us. I mean, we're getting 33 and 27 people at Bingo's. I think it's all ages bingo, so I'm glad that, people are enjoying the course, or the program that we're running. And then, adult paint class is taking off. We're doing good with adult paint classes, and our senior fitness program is still moving strong, and we're making more than our minimum in that program, and it continues to be successful. And the rec coordinator report.
I'm going to back up to Taylor Ice Fest, and I even underlined it, and I wrote it really big, but this is just how I sometimes forget things. I do also want to thank immensely the museum, but even more so the Taylor family for coming to light the tree. Todd Taylor was really cool to talk to, and he was super excited that the truck was there and we were using it as the the, kind of the namesake of the festival, so, again, that was really special. That was way better than, me and a buddy, the elf costume. So, I think Mr. Taylor really got a kick out of it, the Taylor family did too, so that was a good move.
It was a warm, fuzzy moment.
It was. The choir was wonderful, Hanover Central's choir, they were pretty darn good too, so.
And the Santa and Mrs. Claus, they were really good.
Santa Doug he's the real deal, so. Okay.
Can I add while we're talking of Taylor Ice Fest, one more thing?
Yeah.
We actually have, our best parks volunteer here, at the meeting.
Grant.
Hi, Grant.
Hey Grant, if you could just stand up and so everybody can know who you are. Grant Wolfie ran around on Friday. He worked harder than any paid person on an overtime budget, for free. And, he assisted us and the staff in any way he possibly could, saved the day on a few things. I didn't throw him in an event staff vest, he definitely should have had a Superman cape on him. Grant, you were awesome, you're an awesome helper to me. I love that you're doing community support or community projects and being involved. Keep coming back and we'll keep throwing an event staff shirt on you, okay? Thanks so much, Grant.
Good job, Grant.
Everybody. And for the record, the next morning, he took 23 seconds off his 200-yard freestyle after working 9 hours or 7 hours at the Taylor Ice Fest, so.
That was his prep.
And I'm pretty sure he lit the tree too, huh?
Oh, yeah, he helped me plug in the tree, that's right, that's
I
right.
let him see if he was gonna get shot. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, his dad could help him, you know, but no, it was great, so, all right, written communication, aside of the email I kind of referenced, the dog park, we have a gentleman who came to us from Orland Park who lives in Beacon Point, and come to find out, there are people who really love our dog park, and they've created their own Facebook group. And I just joined it too, because I bring my dog there, but, they schedule play dates and whatever, and, they love it, there's some energy about it, you know, so that's cool. It's actually nice to hear something positive. So, he had reached out, just so the board's familiar, he basically said that, at the entry point, where they're walking in and out, it's pretty muddy. He was concerned about seniors slipping and falling, so we're working on putting some gravel around that perimeter to maybe make it a little bit less risky, but this man has a whole bunch of ideas, and I told him he could buy me a cup of coffee and then he could tell me them, so, I'm gonna get together with him and we're gonna figure out what else he has. So before we get to, so before we get to public comment, unlike one of the recent council meetings, I don't have a senator or a congressman here to say thank you, but, we were hoping Colleen would be here tonight, maybe Rick and Ralph. Obviously, this would have been their last meeting as liaisons to the Parks Department. You know, 2 years ago when this board was formed, we're going into year 3, they were our guidance and, you know, very supportive of us and whatever we did, and I'll draft a letter, but just publicly, I think on behalf of the board, I think the board would agree, you know, we wanted to offer them a little bit of thanks for helping us get off the ground and learn a little bit about the legislative process and be supportive of our ideas and kind of show us the ropes. So just let the record reflect the board shows their gratitude for Colleen Sheben, Rick Sharp, and Ralph Miller, and wish them joy in their free time that they are going to have here in about a month. So, yeah. All right, any public comment? Public comment going twice? Public comment going 3 times. No one online, right? Other than Cliff. Hi, Cliff.
Nope.
All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay. This meeting is adjourned at 6:07 PM. Our next meeting will be January 4th,